From mapping millions of rural homes to putting new tools in the hands of women farmers, India is right in the middle of a massive drone revolution. But here's the thing. This isn't happening by accident. In this explainer, we're going to break down the incredible mix of strategy, tech, and people that is literally transforming the country from the sky down.
And it really all starts with people. I mean, just look at this image from the Namo Drone Didi initiative. Now, Didi means sister, and this program is all about empowering women in rural self-help groups by training them to become drone pilots for agriculture. So this is so much more than just a tech story. It's about creating new entrepreneurs and leaders right in the heart of the country.
And we're not just talking about a few feel-good stories here. This whole thing is backed by some serious scale. Right now, India's skies are home to a regulated ecosystem of over 38,000 registered drones. To put that in perspective, that's a fleet bigger than many commercial airlines, and it's growing every single day. So what is this massive fleet of drones actually doing? Well, this is where the revolution gets real. We're now seeing drones become this key tool for the government, helping deliver public services way more efficiently and transparently than anyone ever thought possible. Okay, first up is a project with just breathtaking ambition, the Swamitva scheme. The goal sounds simple, but it's profound. Use drones to map every single rural village in the entire country. This is all about creating digital land records, which is an absolute game changer in a place where property disputes can drag on for decades.
And here's the impact. I mean, these numbers are incredible. Families are getting official property cards, many for the very first time in their lives. This is happening in hundreds of thousands of villages. It's not just about drawing lines on a map, it's about giving people legal ownership, ending conflicts, and unlocking real economic potential. Now they have a formal asset they can use to get loans and build a better future.
Let's circle back to the farms for a second, because this is where the revolution is really taking root. The Drone Didi initiative is right at the center of this huge push to modernize agriculture, completely changing practices that have been around for centuries by putting this tech directly into the hands of farmers.
And this slide really shows you the before and after. You're seeing a shift from really tough, backbreaking manual labor to super efficient, precise drone-based farming. With over 1,000 drones given to these women's groups, the results are better crop yields and, just as importantly, a whole new source of income and empowerment for the women who are now leading this change.
But the impact goes way beyond the farm. As you can see here, drones are now absolutely critical for overseeing these huge infrastructure projects. Think about national highways. Monthly drone video recordings are now mandatory. This creates a perfect visual record to track progress and settle any disputes. And for the railways, drones are getting into all those hard-to-reach places, inspecting tracks and bridges to make things dramatically safer.
And of course, we have to talk about the vital role drones play in national security. This slide gives you a great snapshot of the different kinds being used. You have everything from intelligence and surveillance drones that act as the military's eyes in the sky, all the way to more advanced combat drones. This tech is now a cornerstone of modern defense strategy.
So it's really important to understand that none of this happened by accident. It was the direct result of a bold government strategy to completely overhaul the rules. So let's dig into the regulatory revolution that truly unlocked the skies. This slide right here tells the whole story. I mean, before 2021, trying to operate a drone in India was a bureaucratic nightmare. You had to deal with 25 different forms and get 72 different kinds of approvals. After 2021, that was slashed to just 5 forms and 4 approvals. It was a radical simplification designed to just get rid of the barriers and get people flying. And the reforms went even deeper. Fees were no longer tied to how big your drone was, which was a huge help for startups. A massive 90% of India's airspace was named a green zone, meaning you can fly drones up to 400 feet without needing special permission. They also simplified how you get a pilot certificate and even got rid of the need for a passport to be an operator. Every single change was a clear signal. India is open for drone business. And on top of changing the rules, they added some powerful financial incentives. The goods and services tax, or GST, on drones was cut dramatically, from as high as 28% all the way down to a flat 5%. That one move made the technology so much more affordable and accessible for everybody. And to make sure this whole ecosystem could stand on its own feet, the government launched a production-linked incentive scheme worth 120 crore rupees. What this does is it directly encourages and rewards companies for manufacturing drones and their parts right there in India, building up the local industry as part of the Make in India initiative. But look, policies and money are only part of the story. You also need the digital infrastructure, and most importantly, you need the skilled people to make it all work. So let's take a look at how India is building this complete ecosystem. At the very heart of all this is the Digital Sky Platform. Think of it as the central operating system for everything drone-related. If you're registering a new drone, filing a flight plan, or getting your pilot certificate, it all happens right here, online. It's the digital backbone that makes all of this possible on a national scale. And the data from this platform, well, it shows just explosive growth. Let's run through the numbers behind this ecosystem. First up, the number of registered drones, each with its own unique ID, over 38,000. And what about the number of certified remote pilots who are qualified to fly them? That's now pushing almost 40,000. And to train all those pilots, there are now 244 approved pilot training organizations across the country. So you can see how the entire pipeline, from training to getting certified to actually flying, is all being built at the same time. And the government is actively nurturing the talent for the future. You've got skill-building programs that have trained tens of thousands of people, innovation challenges to get university students involved, and huge industry events that connect startups with the big players. It's all about building a really vibrant community. So when you put it all together, the real-world applications, the radical policy changes, and the deep investment in building this ecosystem, a very clear vision for the future really starts to take shape. You know, this quote from the source material really captures the whole journey perfectly. It talks about the shift from just doing small pilot projects to creating a mainstream innovation-driven sector. That's the key takeaway here. This was a planned, intentional transformation. And the ambition behind all of this is huge. The goal isn't just to use drones effectively inside India. The real goal is to position India as a global leader in designing, manufacturing, and deploying unmanned aerial systems. So, this all leaves us with one final, powerful question. As India systematically builds itself into a global drone hub, which will impact everything from local farms to global supply chains, the real question is, where will this technology take our world next?